Hey, what's up, bud?
Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to give you my silky microphone, so I changed the configuration.
Thank God. The other one was very coarse. This is much
I figured
smoother.
that you were going to be displeased with it.
Yeah.
So what's going on? I feel like I haven't talked to you since the brunch,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
things have gotten crazy since then.
Not well. Like my issue. I just want to talk about real politics. And online is like so white and so left and so socialist. It's so boring that like all of these politically irrelevant dominate like the YouTube and Twitch sphere. And I
Oh my
hate
God,
it.
you're shot out of a cannon. I don't even know what you're talking about.
In like my corner of the internet, it feels like the majority of the discourse is about like fucking socialism and like the
really?
riots over the black people dying to the white police officers is actually about like the Bernie revolution and shit. And it's like, oh my God. So I've just been like, I'm trying to just like auto mute and auto block everybody now on Twitter that has to do with like anybody that calls themselves socialist or communist or LARPs, any of these like far left ideology. I'm just muting them and trying to get back to like tweeting like more relevant ideology. So things that like Tim Pool are saying or Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro or any of these types. I'm just trying to desperately claw my way out of this like vacuum of irrelevant political thought. Ugh.
Wait a second. You're trying to get into the things that Tim Pool and Ben Shapiro
I'm trying to get into talking about those issues again. Like, I'm more interested in talking about, like, what Trump is doing right now rather than dealing with these delusional dumb... Am I allowed to swear on your channel?
Yeah, we're just on Twitch right now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Rather than talking to the delusional that are convinced that like Joe Biden is just as bad as Donald Trump. So like these like the Michael Brooks of the world, or the Kyle Kalinskis of the world, like the Hasan Piker. Like I'm trying to get away from like that delusional stupid shit and back into like more mainstream political conversation. It's so much more entertaining to me than arguing with another person that has another interpretation of some socialist shit ideology. It's so boring to me. I hate it. And these are like the loudest people in my corner of the internet, so it's really frustrating for me to deal with. Sorry, go.
Is this Steven?
Yeah, what's up?
What is I'm shell-shocked by what's going on. I feel like I saw you 3 months ago, and I just don't even understand what's happening right now.
Yeah, well, how's your life been?
I mean, I haven't been, going down the Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro rabbit hole, I guess I would say.
Do you remember? Well, I'm sorry. When I say like going down that road, what I mean is that like the issues, like talking about like Trump and how he's like demonstrably harmed the United States, and these issues are more relevant politically than like how can we become a socialist country. That's
my God! Of course. I mean, listen. Yeah. I'm not a socialist, and I agree with that. But you're not like. But Ben Shapiro is not doing that, is he?
Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. You might be misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm sorry. What I'm saying is that like Ben Shapiro or like Tim Pool or Joe Rogan, these guys are putting forth arguments that I think are harmful and relevant to current American ideas. So I want to be in the realm of like, I want to respond to like what the Crowders of the world are saying or what the Joe Rogans are platforming, or like I want to respond to that type of harmful thought, not argue with socialists and communists all day. That's what I'm saying.
So let me see if I can like put the best possible spin on this. What you're saying is, we've got 5 months to an election that is either going to be Trump getting reelected or Joe Biden.
Yes.
And so for you, theoretical arguments about socialism are less relevant than exposing Trump's totalitarian tendencies and getting him out on November 3rd.
Yeah, 100%. That's a way more relevant argument. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, or like if I'm talking about between like Biden versus Trump, the argument shouldn't be who's more likely to usher in a new era of worker-owned capital or socialist revolution. It's like, well, who's going to be less harmful for the United States or more beneficial towards like our progressive values, our immigration system, maybe universal health care, stuff like that is more what I'm interested in. Yeah.
Do you think now, I mean, listen, I'm a social democrat, so that's like well-regulated capitalism. My audience knows that.
Yes.
Maybe your audience knows that. Okay, fine. But what do you think of the argument? A caller just made this to me 10 minutes ago, that we need those socialists to move the Overton window.
Sure, I guess. They can go move it in a place that I don't...
super moved by
it. The problem is that a lot of these online socialists don't understand at all how political systems work. And when real life people do try to move the system to the left, a lot of these guys online turn against them anyway. A really good example of this as of lately has been like AOC or the Justice Dems or Bernie Sanders. Notice how they are making real changes towards the platforms of Joe Biden and trying to move the country to the left. But now all the socialists have like disavowed these types of people and are like, oh, well, fuck you, Bernie, you're a sellout, or fuck you, AOC, like, you know, you sold out too hard to Pelosi. You were way better when you and your campaign head were like firing off like dramatic tweets at other like Democrats all day long. Like, that's actually the way forward. So I think that like, and to be clear, I need to enunciate this every time, okay? I'm only talking about like the online radical, very, very extreme left people. Like the real life progressives and Bernie fans and Justice Dem fans and everything, I think these guys are largely cool. So like the Cenk Uygur types. I don't know how to pronounce those names. Are weird? I don't know.
Cenk Uygur, yeah.
Yeah. Like those types, I'm okay with. Like those guys are cool. I appreciate the work they do. And I do think that like having somebody like a Bernie Sanders type to push us a little bit farther to the left, I think is good. And there have been like changes in Biden's platform. You know, they've come together and they've worked on making certain concessions to win over Bernie's audience. I think that's largely like a good thing. And I would credit Bernie and his pretty far left run in accomplishing some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I found it, I was concerned when AOC and Bernie both said things that to me seemed sort of like uncontroversial after Bernie dropped out.
Oh, yeah.
And after the fact, some of their supporters were like, they've either sold out or they were never real. They were always playing a character or something like that. Like, what does that say about the people who followed them so closely? Like, were you so bamboozled that you did like you now all of a sudden after following Bernie for years you're like, oh, now he sold out? Like, are you such a poor judge of character that you didn't notice all along?
Yeah, the problem with a lot of these people is, honest to God, like a lot of it is just people just don't really know how the United States political system works. Like, it really comes down to just that. Dude, if I had $1 for every time some far left dipshit says, why didn't Obama fix the police? Like, what the fuck is the president going to do? He's not the guy that puts in like police commissioners everywhere. He doesn't dictate local police policy everywhere. Not to mention the fact that even if he could, Obama only had the ability to pass meaningful legislation for 2 years. You understand the president can't do this unilaterally, right? Like, and they don't. Like, a lot of people just have no fucking idea.
The second part of what you're saying, I agree with, but there's no question that, I mean, listen, when Trump says, I'm going to open up the economy because I shut it down. It's like, no, you didn't shut it down. It was governors who decided to shut it down. And ultimately, it's governors who are going to decide to reopen it. But there's no doubt that if Donald Trump earlier had said, hey, governors, I need you to be with me on this, it would have had an impact. And in the same way, I don't think it's unreasonable to think that a president could do the same when it comes to police reform if they want it.
For 2 years, yes. But not when you've lost your majorities in the House and Senate.
Sure.
Like, at that point, yeah, you can't. Yeah,
well, listen, I mean, for 2 years, even without the Senate or the House, a lot of this stuff depends on states. The president could still say, hey, governors, here's what I want to do. Who's with me? Sort of thing.
Well, yeah, but the problem is like if you lose so much in the midterms in like these, I don't know if these were historic landslide losses or what, but in these pretty massive losses, how much political capital does Obama have, right? Like Obama could be like, listen, you guys, if you need to be with me on this, and they're like, okay, well, listen, dude, like you're not winning us any elections at the moment. Like, I don't know how much, I don't know how, it's not like Trump, whereas before the last midterms, I would argue that Trump seemed to have quite a bit of political capital and that he could kind of move people around, although he sucked at it. So maybe not even. But like at this point, I don't think Trump has much political capital to get big things done either, right? Because we saw a pretty big blue landslide in the House, and now coming up to the presidency, holy shit, we might even see like a flip of the Senate. Just like the electoral politics game is like is a pretty nuanced game that has to be played at state levels that people just don't care about. A lot of times people think the president is literally a dictator that can come in and just single-handedly, unilaterally get all this stuff done, and he just can't. The president's just not that powerful.
Yeah, that's definitely just a misunderstanding about how these systems work. You mentioned a little bit before, like in your screed about the people you're furious with. You mentioned Hasan, and I want to tread carefully because my instinct is that there may be something. I don't know what's going on, but were you upset with what he ordered when we went to dinner? Where you were like, how could he choose those dishes? And was that like, I feel like I might have been.
I'm gonna kick your ass the next time I see you. Okay, I'm unironically in a video game. Okay.
Are you talking, or are you talking to someone else?
Oh, I'm sorry. My mic must have cut out. What did you ask me? Yeah, I was very upset at the dishes he ordered. You got me.
I like, you seem to be very much against lamb, and he ordered lamb. And, no, but
it's just like, it's like an atheist thing. Like, I think lambs are pure, and a lot of they get sacrificed. I'm
trying to figure out, like, you guys are. This is not like a fake beef now.
No, I don't fake beefs. All of my shit is real that I do online. Like, I don't have like these like, hey, we should pretend to fight with each other, blah blah blah. Like, I wear everything on my sleeve. Like, all my positions are real, my friendships are real. Like, I don't set stuff up for drama online or whatever.
And is it if I may, it's his political positions that have infuriated you, or was there a falling out of personal nature?
Well, so like in the beginning, he misrepresented himself as being like a liberal, but the reality is that he's a socialist, and he like is insanely like anti-liberal, right? So like him and a whole bunch of other people online use like liberal as like an insult now. They call them libtards, and they say, oh, liberals, blah blah blah. And I'm just like I said, I'm trying to get away from talking about like the socialist shit. Like it's just so boring to me and so politically irrelevant.
Now, couldn't you, like, I guess I'm trying to understand, because I'm one of the things I'm trying to do is, as long as people aren't hateful, like if somebody hates Jews, I'm gonna not have a tough time getting past that and just kind of hanging out. But I have friends who are socialists, and I'm not a socialist, and I don't feel the need to always talk about that. We can talk about other things. I don't see it as like a personal affront. Is it? Did something happen where it boiled over?
Oh, so I'm capable of being friends with people that have vastly different political beliefs than I, but like I'm gonna call them out on it. And a lot of people get really upset if I argue with them about their beliefs. So like our big falling out was he did a video on Kamala Harris where he pretended to know anything, but he was just regurgitating Twitter headlines. And when we had a discussion about it, he lost his fucking mind. So like that was like the big falling out. And then like later things came up where I was having discussions on different types of social issues, and then he would appear into these podcasts to try to argue with me, and then we would have a big argument, and then he'd hate me or whatever, and then basically that's
See, that makes me sad.
Yeah, well, I mean I agree, but I mean it is what it is.
In other words, it sounds like you're saying you would rather that it had gone a different way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, I like having friends of like different backgrounds. I mean, I think it's cool to have people, but it's really, really hard, especially with people that are as soft as Hasan, like to have people that are friends with you that have like wildly differing beliefs that are like willing to challenge you on it. Like typically people like that prefer to not be challenged dramatically on their beliefs. They just want to have like, chill times and not argue about it.
See, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's not been my experience personally with Hasan, but admittedly, I've only, done a couple of things with him where he seems open to being challenged, as long as, I guess, I mean, in the same way that I'm open to it if it's respectful. I don't know, but I guess it's just that I totally respect that that's how you experienced it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What do we think we can do to rekindle this? Because I would love to go back to dinner with you guys next time if I'm ever traveling again.
Well, you're gonna have to. It'll be like shared custody, I guess. One of us will get you, and then the other one of us will get you when it's on different days.
Now, see, that's because that's like when there's a breakup, when you're friends with a couple.
Yeah.
And then it's like everybody has to pick sides.
You don't have to. Listen, you can visit him first. I won't hold it against you. All right.
Well, no, it's not about first. It's just why can't we all get along and unite against Trump?
I mean that's not what he's concerned with, I guess.
I'm bummed out. I'm bummed out by this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was too, but here we are.
Good. How are things going from the standpoint of just streaming and Twitch? Like, I know during coronavirus, a lot of people are just streaming even more than they normally do.
Yeah, I think so. I've been streaming quite a few hours. Yeah, I mean, I guess like I always stream like quite a bit, so life hasn't changed that much for me, I guess.
Yeah. And did things, I just haven't been following this. There was a point at which you were discussing almost like getting a streamer house together.
Yeah, there was a deal on the table for a big house in Beverly Hills, but the contract just wasn't right, and they wouldn't budge on a couple of like pretty important provisions. So I ended up not going through with it.
Was one of the provisions the exotic animal stuff?
Yeah, basically like me and Lamb, I just can't live in a household where that stuff is served. Even on like, I got them down to a bi-weekly basis on it because they were going to do it every Friday night. And I tried to move them towards like at least monthly because I could leave the house once a month and we'd be okay. But the most they would do is bi-weekly, and I can't be out of the house twice a month. That's also a violation of my atheistic beliefs. And I have to stream at least 28 days of the month. So yeah, that was basically where we got stuck at.
Is, in all seriousness though, how often are you leaving the house? Are you wearing a mask? Like how are you, what is your coronavirus routine?
I mean, yeah, if I go to the store or fast food places or whatever, yeah, I always wear a mask right now. Yeah.
Interesting. And are you like, are you the type of guy that goes for a run?
Sometimes.
And do you wear a mask when running?
No, I would never wear a mask when running. I don't think if you're outside, I don't think it matters as much, but I mean,
I mean, listen,
breathing people, yeah.
I just saw a contact tracing study which says 0.3% of contagion happens outdoors, and of that, it's got to be overwhelmingly when people are doing obviously dumb stuff like
Big
crowding
crowds, yeah.
at a hiking trail or something like that.
Real quick,
But
I just want to
yeah.
give a big shout out really quick in case I missed him. Demiurge Shadow in your chat, 100% of the time somebody tells you that the reason why you don't understand something is you don't read as much, that person literally is illiterate. They actually can't read. And the reason why they're telling you to read is they assume that it's like super beneficial, but they don't actually know because they can't read. This guy probably can't even type. He's using like a speech-to-text program on his computer that automatically inputs
Wait,
text, and he probably has a text-to-speech
going on?
reader. There's a guy in your chat who is illiterate, and I'm actually congratulating him that he's capable of actually chatting like as often as he is without actually being able to read. So big thumbs up to that guy. Okay, I'm sorry. You were talking about being outside, no
Oh my
mask
God.
in the crowd. Go ahead.
You're like wound up in some way.
Me wound up? You really think so?
I mean, you seem almost like you're on speed. You're debating my chat.
No, I'm not. I just wanted to give a shout out to it. You had a cool dude in chat. He needed attention. I can tell he does. He obviously didn't get it growing up, and now he can get it from me now. Demiurge Shadow. Seems like a cool guy.
Demiurge Shadow.
Yeah.
He is big mad. He says, "Oh my God! All right." I mean, I feel like coronavirus is getting to a lot of us in different ways.
Yeah, unfortunately, not to the right people sometimes in a video game. Yeah, no, it definitely is. There's like a lot of shit going on. Yeah.
Are you doing any travel at all?
I think that international travel is banned right now, so I don't think I can do that. I've thought about like there's locally, but I don't know. I don't have health insurance. I'm kind of paranoid going to the airport, and I can just stream because everyone else is. So yeah.
You don't have medical insurance?
Not at the moment, no.
How did you? Is that by choice? I'm guessing.
Well, I'm choosing not to pay $250 a month for it, if that's what you mean. Yeah. At the moment, yeah.
That's interesting. And how? I mean, is it just like you made the mathematical call that you just doesn't make sense to pay it?
Yeah. Well, from a strictly math point of view, it doesn't make sense to pay for it. But from like a risk assessment point of view, I probably should be. I'm just lazy.
Yeah. How old a guy are you?
31. Chill. Damn. What do you think? I have
Yeah,
like
I
fucking
think,
double bypass, 90% blocked arteries or some shit? Type 1, type 2 diabetic? What's going on over here? I'm a relatively healthy
250
guy.
250 sounds cheap, to be perfectly frank. I pay 430 in Massachusetts.
Well, we're not all YouTube superstars that are making millions of dollars a month, okay? Pumping out 20 videos a day, David, all right?
20. No, but I think that's sort of the point where, to me, not having it exposes you. You have to be in a stronger financial position to not have it because you're at risk of a huge bill.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
you're
not
talking
at.
about. Yeah, what you're talking about is it has to do with the risk management. Basically, the downside is very low to buying insurance because I'm not going to miss $250 a month, but the upside is tremendous because I avoid a potentially catastrophic financial event, which is why you should have.
That's my thought exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thought process.
And it seems to me like now you would resist going to the doctor unless it was like an emergency, right? Because you don't want to get dinged.
No, I go to the doctor. I just pay out of pocket. It's okay.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
What does that even cost?
Well, usually if I go to the hospital, usually just for like STD testing. So I don't know. I have that. Oh, I got immunizations a while ago. I guess that was like $200.
You would get the coronavirus vaccine, right?
Well, I'd get an antibody test first, probably, right, to find out if I've had it, and then if I haven't had it, then maybe I would get a vaccine. I don't know. Is it? Maybe I should. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that. I don't usually get like flu shots because I don't really go out much.
You don't go out, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah.
And would the vaccine being from any particular country dissuade you from getting it?
Oh, I don't know if I trust vaccines from Israel.
Really? Okay, that's what was going to be the first one I was going to ask.
Yeah, because I'm pretty white and yeah, I don't know.
No, I actually don't know.
Yeah, well, it's a crazy world out there, David.
See, for me, I would be reassured by the vaccine being from Israel.
Really? You would be, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
Why is that, David?
In fact, I hope it's from Israel.
Really? Do you hope they manufacture it first?
Listen, my real concern is that with all of Trump's posturing about getting it just for the US, that someone else will get it and they just won't give it to us and we'll be the ones who are screwed.
But you think Israel would give it to us?
I think Israel would give it to us. I think, after the BS with Germany, I don't know that we're the first place Germany's sending vaccines to.
True. That's true. I guess I'd probably hope if anybody manufactures it, I'd probably hope that the United States manufactures it.
Well, listen, man, I am worried about you. I'm finding something about this call a little unnerving, if I'm totally frank.
What's unnerving about it?
I don't know. There's an energy from you that is I don't know. There's
Are you
something
into
going
aura
on.
readings now? Is that you gonna do some Reiki on me?
Well, I don't believe Reiki is a thing, but I know that it's very, very lucrative for some people.
Okay. How have you been doing lately? How's your broadcasting been going?
The broadcasting's fine. I mean, listen, I'm in the same situation as everybody. I don't really do anything. And it seems now, I mean, it's like, okay, in Massachusetts yesterday, outdoor dining started. Is outdoor dining safe? I guess it's reasonably safe, but is it necessary? I don't know.
What do you mean necessary?
Like, am I going to be so much better off emotionally if I go to sit outside a restaurant with whatever additional risk it brings? I just don't know. I feel like it's just really unclear now what, how to even evaluate. Like, okay, I like going to restaurants, but do I really need to do it right now? I don't know. It's just a very weird in between time.
Yeah, I imagine for some people just getting out probably feels good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going out, I'm running, I'm biking. Sometimes I'll have a couple friends over and we stand outside 30 feet away and then talk on the phone and stuff like that.
Exactly. As long as you're doing like
know,
the bare minimum to like kind of keep yourself and your La Casa safe. Have you heard of Shungite? Shungite. Not Shungite. Shungite.
No, what's that?
Oh, it's like a rock and protects your house. You know?
It's a rock?
Yeah, you put it around your house, keeps you safe from the 5G. You've heard about those things, right?
The other day someone walked by my house with a mask that said 5G caused this.
Yeah. Do you think it did?
I don't think so. My neighbor asked them, "That's a joke, right?" And the guy said yes, but like it wasn't convincing, if that makes sense.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
What have you got any fashionable or special masks? Like, do you have any David Pakman masks?
No David Pakman mask. A viewer did send me a reversible mask, and I don't know. I'm thinking now everybody now has these black ones that are very, very stylish, and they're almost like sport cut or something. And I don't even know where people are getting them. What kind of mask are you rocking?
I just ordered a pack of 10 like standard cloth stretchy nylon. I don't know what they are. Whatever masks. So I'm pretty bummed.
Like the medical ones?
No, not that. No.
Oh, those actually, I find those a little unnerving. I don't like those at all.
Makes you feel like you're in like a post-apocalyptic zombie movie, or why is that?
It reminds me of when I had appendicitis a few months ago, and everybody around me was wearing those. It's not. I don't want that when I'm at the grocery store, if that makes sense.
True. I think it'd be cool if everybody's wearing like Bane masks. We could all feel like we're in.
That'd be different.
The Dark Knight Rises, maybe.
So listen, while I have you, what should I be doing on Twitch? I'm trying to keep growing and revitalizing on Twitch, and I just don't really, I'm thinking of what I want the right Twitch strategy, and you seem to be a good person to go to for that.
Well, right now, holy shit, David. Right now, the Twitch meta is actually chess.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, yeah, it's Hikaru has like 400,000 subscribers all of a sudden.
Followers, but yeah.
I'm sorry, followers. Yeah.
Yeah, we use that word as different around here, David.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
From. Yeah, use that word.
So
carefully.
should I be revitalizing the chess stuff?
You might be able to. Yeah, there's a lot of grandmasters that are playing on Twitch now.
That's
getting like
interesting.
10,000 plus viewers. So yeah.
When I ran a tournament a couple months ago, the tournament on Lee Chess got 500 players. Obviously, the stream had more, but at 500 players. Maybe I should run another tournament. Would you play in it if I did?
Maybe. I'd consider it,
You would consider it?
Yeah, I would. I think I would.
All right.
Yeah.
I think next week is going to be chess on Twitch for me, and we're going to see how it all goes. In fact, I'm going to pick a time right now. I'm going to say Tuesday night is the next David Pakman Show chess tournament, 8 p.m. Eastern Tuesday night, and you're invited, Steven.
Okay, 8 p.m. Tuesday night. EST?
EST.
Oh my God, that's 5 PST for me on a Tuesday. Let me see what I got with my schedule. 5.
See what you got going on.
Yeah, you know what? I've got something scheduled at 5 o'clock. David Pakman chess. There you are.
There we go, and we're gonna get Hasan in too.
You better tell him I'm gonna be there, because
No, I think we'll do it Tuesday night at 8 p.m. I think it'll be good. I do want to get back to the chess.
Yeah.
And it's great to catch up with you. I'm not kidding that I'm a little just worried. You had at the start of our call, you had a bit of like a manic energy, but I do feel like we're doing better now.
Yeah, most of the time I'm pretty level. I just, my bipolar kicks in at the start of conversations. Talking to you, you're like internet famous.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, I get like a little bit nervous as soon as you pick up. I'm like, oh god, it's like the David Pakman, and I just want to like go off like a million miles per hour for all the different political opinions and everything I've had and all the stuff I've been doing. And it just makes me really fucking nervous,
Is that because of an insecurity of some kind?
I don't know. I think I radiate. You mentioned like the aura shit that you heard earlier. I radiate a lot of Yakubian energy, and when I talk to you, it just sets me off in a way, But after we chat for a little bit, I think I chill out. I cradle my shungite, my 3 million year old shungite rock, and everything just feels a little bit better. So,
do you do bonsai?
I used to own bonsai kittens, the ones that fit in the jars, but no, I don't do bonsai. What's that?
No, just like
like the plants?
Raising and pruning a tree. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in a way, aren't our lives like trees that we raise and prune?
In a sense, in a metaphorical sense. Yeah.
In a literal sense, no, I don't do bonsai. Do you?
No, I would love to, but I just don't think I know what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, there's only one way to find out, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Trump's big revelation that that old 75-year-old guy that got pushed over was actually like a super secret Antifa soldier?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. That guy. So my show started in Western Massachusetts in a place called Northampton, and 10 minutes from Northampton is Amherst, Massachusetts. And these are like some of the most liberal places in the country where like 85 or even 88% of the population will vote for Democrats in presidential elections. That's where this guy is from. And just, the idea, I feel like we've been desensitized where when Trump tweets that, the debate is whether Trump's right rather than the insanity of the fact that the president tweeted something from OAN reported by some Sputnik news guy who works for OAN. That's the story, not the debate over the facts.
Yeah. Whether or not this Alex Jones piece or this Project Veritas piece or this OAN piece is actually correct, but why is our president tweeting out? Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's absolutely insane. What did you make of it?
Obviously, I think it's absolutely batshit insane. Did we ever figure out what Obamagate was, or is that still top secret as well?
I'm still researching that. I do think that maybe by like October 30th, we might hear something a little more definitive about it, and we'll just run out of time being able to debunk it before the election.
Oh, darn. Huh.
That's my prediction.
What do you think about like the defund the police and the ACAB and all that stuff? Do you have any thoughts on any of this stuff?
I do, and I've put out a bunch of clips about it, and for the most part, people are not that furious with me. I mean, listen, I don't believe that defund the police makes any sense, and I don't believe abolish the police makes any sense. And if what you mean by that is reform the police, then I'm with you, but I would call it that. Like, I wouldn't call it defund the police if you actually mean something different. And so I gave like my bullet list of police should be demilitarized and funding should be restricted so that can't be used to buy these huge military vehicles or RPGs. Training for police should be 2 to 3 times as long. And in some countries, it's much longer. It should include a lot of social work type training so you actually learn to de-escalate situations.
Yeah, for sure.
There should be some central database of bad police actors so that police departments can't act stupid when they hire someone. And then we learn like they had 18 complaints at their last job. And the police chief says, we didn't know. Like there should be a central bad actor database that police departments have to both report to and check if they're going to hire somebody. I have this long list of stuff. And the truth is sometimes police departments are underfunded. There are some police departments where they don't have enough officers. And so what they do is the really cheap policing stuff of like, let's just send our officers to the poor areas, and which actually exacerbates the problem that we're trying to fix. So that's my take on it.
How do you feel about oh shoot, I read something that just completely sidetrained my thought. How do you feel about the have you heard about, is it, I think, Campaign Zero, like that list of like 8 to 10 reforms or whatever that police departments should take into account that are like data-driven reforms? Have you read into that at all, or?
I bookmarked it, but I haven't read what the 8 to 10 reforms are yet.
Gotcha. It's pretty interesting. I think it's got a lot of good stuff there. It's
Are,
pretty
are
basic.
any of them the ones I mentioned?
Yeah, but every single thing you just mentioned is more or less included there. It's like
Okay.
broken windows policing, more specialized training and like de-escalation training for cops, more strict use of force policies so that we're not just shooting people immediately. Like having resources more appropriate allocated to like mental health specialists rather than just police officers being called for every single issue. There's a lot of good stuff on there. I think I'm pushing for those.
I'm gonna
reforms
check that out.
Yeah, although people get mad if you mention that, but yeah.
But why do people get mad though? It seems reasonable.
Wait, maybe. Oh man, dude, I'm so stuck in this stupid like hole of like irrelevant political thought. So this might not be like more mainstream, but like in my corner of the internet, people are really mad anytime you mention like reforming the police because they just want to see it like abolished or defunded or just destroyed. Yeah, I don't know how mainstream and current American thought that is right now. I know that the Minneapolis City Council, I think, said that they pledged to quote unquote abolish their police force, although I'm not sure what that means. Have you read into how Camden reformed their police?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, and it's quite interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. A lot of people just say Camden abolished their police department and then they leave it at that, but they don't mention the fact that Camden doubled the size of their county police department, gave it a lot more funding, but then changed the way they approached policing. And it seems to have worked out a bit better for them, yeah.
Yeah, I one of the things that I did 10 days ago, and I haven't looked back, is I no longer look at the replies feed on my Twitter.
Yeah.
So I'll tweet, and then I'm walking through it right now. I'll go to my verified feed and I'll look there, which is like I get that it's like blue check mark people and that I'm kind of creating an echo chamber, but the replies feed, the mentions feed is so toxic. Then I will just look at the posts from the people I follow. Like I'm just not even looking at the mentions feed because it's such trash, and it was actually affecting me in a very negative way.
Yeah, holy jeez, it's insane. Yeah. And I remember you expressed your concern a while ago that you were worried that the types of responses you get to certain to certain things that you talk about can dissuade you sometimes from talking about those things. So for instance, if you have even the slightest of criticisms about like Bernie Sanders or AOC, you're going to get a deluge of like horrible negative deluge, of like horrible negative comments that like makes it like it's not even worth it for me to address these issues.
Yeah, although I am past that. And you know what? Since Bernie lost 3 Super Tuesdays in a row, like March 3rd, 10th, and 17th. Yeah. And I've been sort of like issuing what I think are pretty rational critiques of why he lost. People, there's still some hate, but people seem much more willing to actually hear reason on a lot of these issues. The last couple months, anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think people have I'm so glad getting past the primary shit, like moving forward, looking forward to the general. Like it's just so clear cut. And the fact that like, again, I'm trying to preface this because my side of the internet is so crazy. Politics on YouTube and Twitch it's just horrible. And nobody should be here. Nobody should have a voice here. It's just abysmal. But like there are so many people on the left that are entertaining online, that are entertaining these ideas that like maybe Trump would be better than Biden because Biden, voted for the 94 crime bill, or like just these crazy, stupid opinions. And I'm so glad.
The other one is someone called me and said Biden supports cutting Social Security.
Oh yeah, because of the one.
Hold on a second. In the 90s, when he was asked, "Would you take it off the table?" he said, "No, I wouldn't preemptively take it off the table." Like he never actually proposed a cut, and it was almost 30 years ago. Like that's not relevant to look at what Trump was saying 30 years ago. It's not relevant to what's going on right now.
Yeah. 20 years ago, wasn't Trump saying if he was going to run, he'd run as a Republican because they're stupid and easily gullible or something? Or
no, that was a widely disseminated fake quote.
Oh, was that a fake quote? Oh, okay.
It's weaponized fake.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for
it's aggressive fakeness
on that fake news. Oof, that was a close one.
All right, dude, listen, I got to go, but I want to play in this chess tournament with you on Tuesday. It's in your calendar, so I hope to see you there.
Okay.
And by the way, a shout out to your subreddit. Your subreddit seems to actually like me. It's one of the very few subreddits that likes me. Most subreddits hate me.
Yeah, my subreddit seems to like everybody. They get around a lot, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't feel too special there, okay? Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Well, hey, I love you. Stay safe,
Steven.
Okay?
Yep, likewise. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Be careful, man.
Okay, see ya.
Bye. I think that Trump is right. I think that all political discourse should be banned on YouTube and Twitch streams and Twitter. I think that these people aren't worthy of having political discussions.